In this lesson, we're going to study major scales in the third position. As Bill has it on page 112, the most used major scales in the third position. The first one is a B-flat major scale. But before we do that, what's the third position? It's where your first finger normally lies. So you have to move your hand up for your first finger always plays naturally in the third fret, second finger, fourth fret, third, fifth fret, fourth finger, sixth fret. So here's the B-flat major scale, fingering type 4. Remember that was fourth finger on the sixth string, B-flat major. Remember A major in second, B-flat major, again, you should have your fingers knowledgeable enough so that you don't have to look at them as much, so you can concentrate on the notes. Here is B-flat major scale exercise on page 112. One, two, three, four. You could tell you're getting more advanced in this book because that exercise not only had the scale study, but right within it, it had the arpeggio study. So we had this on the last line, we had a G minor arpeggio, B flat major arpeggio, F7 arpeggio. The next scale on page 112 is E-flat major, using fingering type 3. I'll repeat this to ad nauseum. Fingering type 3 is the fifth string, fourth finger root. We knew D scale. E-flat scale, third position. Yes, there's only one note difference between B-flat scale and E-flat scale. E-flat has an A-flat in it, B-flat has an A natural. And they both have B-flat and E-flat in it, so it's just one note difference. Here's the E-flat major scale exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you should practice the scale first, over and over, and notice the notes that you are playing. You're playing familiar fingerings, but unfamiliar notes. So make sure that you E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. Know all the notes that you're playing. Visualize it, look at it. Play the scale over and over. Look at the music. Look at the music while I'm playing it. Then try it slower than what I'm playing it, and then build up speed to get it at what I'm playing it. Our third scale in the third position on page 113 is the A flat major scale, using fingering type 2. Remember, fingering type 2 was second finger on the 6th string, G major in the second position. Third position is A flat. We are adding flats as we're going on, so we played B flat scale, and then when we got to the E flat scale, we added an A flat. Now when we are playing A flat scale, we're adding a D flat. So in key of A flat, we have B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Fingering type 2, A flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always remember, play D flat, and actually look ahead and practice the fourth line where you have that's the first measure, and the third measure of the fourth line arpeggio the last line. The last scale in the third position that you're going to learn is D flat. This is based on fingering type 1. Remember C in the second position, 5th string root, second finger. This is D flat scale in the third position with your second finger on D flat. Here's the D flat exercise, fingering type 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the difference between a D-flat scale and an A-flat scale? Right, we're playing G-flats in the D-flat scale. So in the D-flat scale, there's B-flat, E-flat, A-flat, D-flat, and G-flat. Before you play any of these exercises, play the scales over and over again. And after you play these exercises, we go to page 114 and 115. It's the third position review. As in the second position review, we have modulations on these 2 pages. And surprise, it's, the keys are B-flat, E-flat, A-flat, and D-flat. I will play the melody with straight eighth notes with this one. And when I play the accompaniment, the chords, I'll be playing a Latin rhythm. Third position review. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're having problems playing the whole piece, practice each individual section, meaning each individual key section, alone. First practice the B-flat section. Then, when you have that at a steady tempo, practice the E-flat section, and then play that whole page. And then work on the A-flat section. Again, play the 3 sections, and then add the D-flat section. Make sure you play it slowly at first, and then you can build up your tempo. Next, I am going to play the background, the chords for you. Again, I'm going to play a Latin rhythm. I'm going to play the chords, maybe embellishing them a little bit instead of B flat major, maybe I'll play a B flat 6, but I'll be playing the chords behind you. Here are the chords for the third position review. One, two, three, four. After we play all those chords, now we'll go into new chord forms on page 116. Actually, I played a few of these on the previous exercise that I just played. We are going to learn how to play a dominant 7 flat 9 chord. If you already know your 9th chord, C9, actually I like to play it like this, C9, and then we can flat the 9 by taking our 4th finger off and flattening our 1st finger and playing on the 2nd string. I usually like to play C in the bass or the 5th string in the bass and not the 5th in the bass, the G. But either way will work. If you play the 5th in the bass, it looks just like and sounds just like a diminished chord. The other forms that we're going to learn are dominant 7 sus4 and a dominant 7 flat 5. Our sus4 is taken physically off of this A minor 7 chord. But we're going to play a D7 sus4. What we're going to do is play our 1st finger on the 3rd fret, 4, 3, 2. You could put the root in the bass on the 5th string or the 5th in the bass. Putting the fifth in the bass prepares us to play dominant 7 flat 5, which we just take our second and third fingers and move it down a fret. Here is a common progression. D7 sus 4, fifth in the bass, because I know we're going to go to D7 flat 5 to G6. Notice the bass motion is very close movement between the chords. Let's look at the exercise. We're playing G major 7, G6, A minor 7. Here's our new chord, D7 flat 9. You could either play it playing the root on the 5th string or playing the 5th on the 6th string. G6, A minor, B minor 7, E7 flat 9, A minor 7, D7 sus G, or D7 sus 4, or D11, any of those, D7 flat 5, G6, C9, G6. Here it is in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I chose in that exercise to play all the fifths in the bass. With D7 flat 9, I played it with A in the bass. With E7 flat 9, I played the 6th string, the B in the bass. When I played D7 sus 4, I did. Here it is a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. That time I switch sometimes between the fifth in the bass and the root in the bass. Our next exercise has a number of chords that are new to us. Physically, they'll be very similar, so this is a good time to look at it. We're going to first do a minor 9 chord. Again, if you know theory, you can figure out a lot of fingerings from knowing some other fingerings. In other words, if we know a D9 chord, we'll put we'll play the 5th string and make the D in the bass, the root. What's the difference between the D9 and the D minor 9? The D9 has an F sharp in it, the 3rd. D minor 9 has an F natural, the minor 3rd. So if we know where the F sharp is, we flat it 1 fret to get the F natural. There's your minor 9 chord. You could put the 5th in the bass too, or the root. The next chord is a dominant 7 sharp 9. A dominant 7 sharp 9. Well, if we know a D9, that's a dominant 7, 9, and we know where the 9 is, what does the name tell us? To sharp the 9. Other ways of saying it is D7 sharp 9, D7 raised 9, or D7 augmented 9. Most of the time I hear and read D7 sharp 9. D9, D7 sharp 9. The next chord that I'm going to show you is a major 9-7. We'll look at this from the physical point of view. If we know a major 6, like A major 6. And we move our second finger to the 5th string and call that a root. That's D major 9/7. So that is from the physical standpoint. 6th chord, A major 6, D major 7/9, or D major 9/7. You could also look at it from a D 9th chord to a D major 7/9, just by moving that C to C sharp. Let me play you the chords in exercise 2. F minor 9, or E7 sharp 9, or you could put the 5th in the bass, E flat major 7, E diminished, back to F minor 9, E7 sharp 9, E9, here's the E flat major 9/7, D flat 7, D7 flat 9, E flat. In tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're playing these type of chords, the top note is very important because you're hearing the 9, the sharp 9, the 3rd on the E major 7, E flat major 7, the 3rd on the E diminished. They're all the same note, G. F minor 9, E7 sharp 9, here's where we start moving. E9, E flat major 9/7, D flat 9, D7 flat 9, E flat. Practice that slowly and see if you can hear the top note of the chord and sing it. Da 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 da.